So, just recently, we've just had a new report or new leak in that we're going to be getting some new Macs before the end of 2023. The report that I want to talk about today has actually said we could be seeing new M3 MacBooks. We could also be seeing a new iMac too. And we also have some more news on iPads as well. Now, I must say this, it's been a really weird couple of weeks now. We've actually had news that we were going to get new Macs, we were going to get new iPads, and then we got an Apple Pencil version 3 with that USB-C, and that's not coming out to early November time. But just recently, we've just had another report just come in telling us that we could be seeing new Macs, and it's coming from Mark Gurman. Have a look here. Mark has said that there's the possibility that we could see a new iMac before the end of the year, and also we could also be seeing the new M3 MacBooks too. If we are going to be getting an M2 iMac or an M2 Pro iMac, I'm going to say this, that Mark Gurman has changed his mind here, because months ago, even more like a year ago, he turned around and said, no, we're not going to get any M2 models at all. We're only going to be getting an M3 iMac. So if this just happened, it's a complete change of mind here. Well, it's a bit weird, to be deadly honest. And to be honest, from my point of view, it makes sense, obviously, to Apple to update the iMac to have an M2 chipset inside, an M2 Pro, because the Mac Mini, for example, has this chip inside it, but I just think it's a bit late to the party. The other factor of this could be that there's problems with the M3 production, and Apple have known it's taken ages, for example, to get a new iMac out there, so they've decided to call it quits and decide to actually put an M2 chipset inside the iMac because they can't wait much longer, and that would lead nicely that M3 Macs are coming in 2024 instead. But that also leads me on to the next part of his report. What's really odd too, he's also mentioned that MacBook Pros are going to be getting an update as well. He says it's not unlikely it's going to happen. It's not likely it's going to happen. It could happen. But at the end of the day, we got the new M2 Pro and the M2 Max MacBook Pros earlier this year. So to release them, say, in October time, wow, we're only talking like about, I don't know, about 8 months difference between that. And that would be very, very unusual from Apple to do a move like that. So I don't know if this is going to possibly happen. And plus the fact as well, it's not like Apple's nature way or natural way of doing this. They've actually brought out in the past, say, the M1 chipset first, and M1 Pro, and M1 Max, and M1 Ultra. And then they did the same with M2. So they did M2, then they did M2 Pro, M2 Max, and then after that with M2 Ultra. So them to release M3 and M3 Pro and M3 Max all together, it just seems a little bit strange in my opinion. So for my own personal thoughts there, I personally do not believe it's going to happen. But, you know, I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, because I'd love to see some M3 Pro and M3 Max MacBooks out there. But it just seems a little bit unusual for that to happen. You know, like I said, about 8-9 months later, after we got M2 Pro and M2 Max. That's really just pushing it really quickly here. What is also strange is also the news about iPads. It looks like iPads have also been pushed out into 2024, and this again just mixes things up here. If we are going to be getting M3 Max this year, and then still the iPad Air is going to get M2 next year, that just seems a bit weird. You know, why that's going to happen again. It doesn't seem this is the natural way that Apple do things. At the end of the day, we still got the M1 chipset in the iPad Air before we completed the journey of the M1. On that same event, we got the iPad Air. We also got the M1 Ultra. It wasn't until some months later when we had WWDC in 2022 where we saw the M2 MacBook Air to begin with, and the MacBook Pro were the first devices to get an M2 chipset put inside them. So then, guys, are you looking for that ultimate IT management solution? Well, I have a solution for you, and it's called Pulseway. Like with my iPhone 15 Pro Max here, you can take control of your IT systems anywhere on the go. You can get real-time insight, resolve issues remotely, and automate tasks with ease. Whether you're a small business out there, or let's say you are a large enterprise, Pulseway can be scaled to your needs. So you can join IT pros who use Pulseway and streamline their IT management today. So with that, are you ready to upgrade your IT management with ease? Well, if you are, make sure you check out Pulseway. And in fact, right now, guys, they are offering a special deal and also a free trial. And all the details are in the description of this video. And moving on with iPads, it also looks likely we're not going to be seeing a new iPad mini in 2023. This could be coming out in 2024 too, but it's just a right mess. In my own personal opinion, and I could be wrong here, I'm going to put that out there. I'm not saying this is definite. What I think is going to happen if there is going to be an event, I don't think there'll be an event. I think there will actually be a press release. And that press release will just show us an M2 and an M2 Pro iMac, and that is it. No event, nothing like that, personally, in my opinion. And then in 2024, the early part, we will actually get the last M2 device revealed or coming out, and that will be Vision Pro, and I reckon that's going to be in January time, because if you look here, we've actually had a report in saying that trainees and things like this are getting trained how to use it now, so it means it's coming out very, very soon. And then personally, I reckon around about March time, that is when we're probably going to be seeing some M3 Macs as well, in my honest opinion. We might also see then, the iPad Air get the M2 at the beginning of the event, and maybe the iPad as well, the iPad mini, then later on at the other end, they announced M3 afterwards. That could possibly happen. And then let's say WWDC next year in 2024, that's when we could see the M3 Pro and the M3 Max put inside the new 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pros. But that is, again, like I said, just my honest opinion, what I think is going to be happening here. But for the actual event date or the actual press release, Mark Gurman has also commented on this. He believes it's only literally about a week away. He believes it's either going to be happening on October 30th, so Monday, October 30th, or it's going to happen on Halloween, October 31st. This is going to happen. And again, this is entirely possible. I don't think we might be able to get our hands on those devices on those dates, but if anything, it's probably going to be more likely in November, probably in line or very similar to the release of that new Apple Pencil. But again, that just confuses everything again. Why is Apple sort of introducing the Apple Pencil now, saying it's coming out, this new version, and then literally 2 weeks later do a press release and say, oh, by the way, we're also bringing out some new iMacs too. It just really, really complicates things. You'd think in that press release, you talk about the Apple Pencil, let's talk about iPads first, then they'd move on to, oh, by the way, we've also got a new iMac coming out too. And that just makes more sense for me. But, we just don't know what's going on here. But the main thing is, Mark Gurman has come in saying that M2 or M3 Max could be coming in October. But like I say, take it with a big pinch of salt of what is going on here. If we do get new Macs, fantastic. We always love a new product, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, it might not happen. So we'll leave this open. And like I said, in my honest opinion, I think if there is going to be anything before the end of 2023, it will be an iMac with that M2 Pro and M2 inside it, if that's for Macs. And if we did actually get an iPad 2, then I do still believe it would be the iPad Air, but that could get pushed out into 2024. So again, this is one of those confusing videos that it's just really odd what is going on here. And it is quite a bold move from Mark Gurman. And it's one of those things again where he's changed his mind here, that he was saying that we're going to get M3 iMacs only, and now it's possible we're going to see M2 and M2 Pro inside. Yeah, it's a real oddball, I'm going to say the least. But on that note, guys, it's time to wrap up this video. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button. And also at the same time, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews and comparisons, please also make sure you subscribe to this channel and also hit that notification bell. Until next time, guys, see you really soon. Take care. Bye-bye.